Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Eat Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime!
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Hey, Riley, how many touchdowns you kick last year?
You can't kick a touchdown, Hank.
Well, maybe you can't. I need a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale.
I mean, I caught a touchdown.
That's cool. Who kicked it to you?
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
How's your day going?
Going good. Thank you again.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
Hey, Riley, the most important position on a football team. No.
Well, it's a team sport, Hank.
Wrong. No, it's kicker. Why do you think they call it football? Why do you think Lithia Ford is having a fall kickoff sale? Tell you what, they're not having a fall tight end sale.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, RoadPaint.com, and the Blue and Orange Store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State Athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
What's up, Bronco Nation? How we doing? Blurry screen there for some reason. Happy Monday to you. Bronco Nation News Live, Monday, August 10th. We got Brad Bedell with you. My name is BJ Rains. And Brad, we were both at practice on Saturday, so we got some thoughts. We got some observations. We'll take some. Should be a fun show here. You don't hear me, Brad? Do you have people? I think they hear me. That was the best intro of all time. Hopefully people hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat there, folks. If not, I'm not sure what's going on with Brad there, so I apologize. All right, you can hear me. Okay. And you're going to hear me even better here in a second because I'm going to put our new switch over to the actual microphone here. All right, there we go. You should hear me. Do you hear me, Brad?
Yeah.
All right.
Got you now.
They could hear me, so I'm not sure what the issue was with that, so I apologize.
No,
it is Monday, August 10th. We'll reset here. Just 3, 2. Welcome on in, Bronco Nation News Live. It's Monday, August 10th. Brad Bedell is here. My name is BJ Rains. We were both at practice on Saturday, so we both actually brought our kids at practice on Saturday. Got them to my 9-year-old was enjoying watching some of the drills and stuff, doing his first year of tackle football. My wife was out of town, so had to bring him along, but he enjoyed it for the most part. Saw your son out there as well, Brad, but we got some thoughts, some observations on practice. We got a couple interviews to play. We got some highlights. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. We'll take some questions from folks, but hope you're doing well, Brad. Happy Monday.
Doing well, yeah. Doing well. We're going to start a new week. It was fun. Saturday was fun. They look good.
Now, just so you know, Brad, Thursday night, I'm going to be it's the Boise Open this week, and I'm looking forward to that. Boise Open golf. Anyone that's golf fans, we had Jeff Sanders on the show earlier a couple weeks ago talking about it, and maybe the greatest artist that they've ever brought in for the concert series. They do the concerts, in the evenings at the Boise Open. Thursday night, I'll be taking it back to St. Louis high school, early 2000s. I got the hat on today. My man Nelly is going to be here on Thursday night at the Boise Open. I'm sure he's going to fit right in with the clientele of folks that'll be out there at the golf. But I'm going to have a different Cardinals hat on every day this week. I'm going to get pumped up for Nelly, and my playlist on the on my phone and stuff this week is going to be nothing but country grammar and some Nelly. So hopefully I'll see some folks. Am I going to see you out at the Nelly concert on Thursday, Brad?
No.
All right, not surprised by that.
You're going to be. So I'm glad you're the one ticket that was sold for the concert.
No, I bought like 8 for my friends, so it'll be at least 8 of us out there. Yeah. No, I'm going to go back circa 2001, 2002, 2003. And have some fun out at the Nelly concert on Thursday. I'm looking forward to the golf as well. The Boise Open. They do have tickets left for Sunday. The other 3 days was sold out, but should be fun. And I can't wait for. I cannot wait for Thursday. I might go with the Ozzie Smith, like baby blue Cardinals jersey. Maybe I go a little Willie McGee. I got a Albert Pujols, shirt, I guess. But I got, like I said, different Cardinals hat every day this week, counting down to the concert. So I'm pumped.
How are they in the playoff race?
They're 3.5 back in the wild card, but we're not talking about that. If I show up in a Cardinals jersey and hat, though, any chance Nelly signals me out or gets me up on stage or something?
I don't know. Never been to a Nelly concert.
All right, well, that's his thing. He's from St. Louis. He raps about St. Louis in a lot of his songs. He'll probably have a Cardinals hat on. So, and he always shouts out, his home. So if he sees all these random people in the concert, and then he sees a guy wearing a Cardinals hat and Ozzie Smith jersey, maybe I'll get called up there or something. We'll see.
I would go with the baby blue to stand out a little bit.
Okay, all right. I got a baby blue, like 1982 Ozzie Smith jersey, maybe that I can do and see if I can get pulled up on stage. We'll see.
I hope you do. I'm sure it's going to be fun.
They're asking for your volume a little louder, so what I'm going to do is turn my volume down a little bit. And then if you guys want to just turn your overall volume up a little bit, hopefully that evens out a little bit. But I'll turn myself down a little bit. So we'll do the best we can on that. All right, Brad, enough about that. But I had a good trip to Circa, by the way. I'm looking forward to the contest weekend in 3 weeks. Was down there, quick trip Thursday night, Friday. Got to see Derek and the crew down there. Got to get a quick meal in at Barry's. But contest weekend, 3 weeks away. I now have confirmation, Brad, that our friends from Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, Chris Atkinson and the crew are coming down to sign up for the contest and hang out with us. And they're a good group that likes to have some cold beverages and hang out. And that'll be a fun addition. So we got plenty of room left. You get discounted rooms. You get all kinds of cool stuff, free pool party, free happy hour, lots of drinks and food, and you get to hang out and watch Brad Bedell split face guards. There is nothing better than that in Las Vegas. So, Brad, looking forward. That's like 2.5 weeks away now.
Yeah, it is. Not this, but the following, right?
Yeah, it's 2.5 weeks. It's the 27th or whatever it is. And we did see, Brad, maybe I should play the clip. I wonder if they would care on VSiN if I played the clip.
They'd care.
They would?
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't want me to play it?
Right.
Brad Bedell is now you were interviewed. Now, do you remember the first time they interviewed you, Brad? And we are going to get to football talk here in a second. Plenty of Boise State talk to get to. But they originally interviewed you in the pool. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Okay. And that was actually how it started. I was just trying to,
and then
have some fun with you. And you were in the pool, and I said, this guy played in the NFL. You should go interview him. And they did. But they didn't use that clip. They used your clip from the Legacy Club.
Yeah.
I love the
I saw it. And it didn't matter if it was the next day. I was barely going to remember that interview.
Well, all right, I have the clip here. Let's just play it. Why not? Brad Bedell, a VSiN star.
Yeah.
This is the Circa VSiN football. What do they call this? The contest, I guess. And Brad Bedell was featured in the documentary on the contest. Let's get a quick clip here.
So I played 7 years, drafted by Cleveland, was there for 3, hurt a year, and
fast forward
years in Green Bay, and
fast
then
forward
a couple years in Washington and Houston. So I fooled a lot of people, but I was a pretty good athlete. My team name, hope to make week 2. I do Survivor because it's competitive. I like competing. And I think when you got a little skin in the game, you're kind of motivated to watch everything, right? Sometimes it's just luck. It's literally just luck. We're local.
100%, Brad. 100%. A lot of it is luck. And you are now featured in the contest.
Yeah.
And that was a fun interview there.
I did think, but after looking at it, some of it's luck and some of it's staying on top of it and having the one thing I would suggest is because I do it with other people is we did it. We did a couple games and we did it with other friends of yours and things like that.
We made it 2 weeks, I think, on that one.
Right. But it's also you have to understand who you're playing the game with because you have to come to a common agreement. Right. And you're going to have differences. And that's what took us out. I mean, I agreed with, I believe it was Pittsburgh that took us out. I agree with Pittsburgh's the pick.
The Seahawks, George Halani going to pick up that kick because the guy didn't know it was a loose ball on a kickoff on this.
Oh, that's right.
George Halani's first career touchdown is what did us in.
Well, George is a jerk.
Well, anyway, it's going to be a fun weekend. That interview there, that was at Legacy Club. They have an event with fireworks and things, and there's a lot of chances to hang out with myself and Nathan and Brad and Kent Riddle's coming down, and we're going to be doing some live shows and hanging out. And like I said, a lot of other cool folks from Boise will be coming down to sign up for the contest. Reach out to me. I can get you half off your room, and you can get a discounted room, and you can sign up for the contest. Saw our man Carol, the proxy, Brad, signed up one of our entries already, and I got the new Survivor hat, so I'm good to go. Real nice rope hat here. This is your nice hats this year. So
stepped up.
You get a $1,000 entry, and you get a hat out of it. It's nice, but hopefully, folks will make plans if you want to at the last minute, and come down in a couple of weeks with us. Reach out to me, Rains at BroncoNationNews.com, and I can help get you out there. And
in my case, I get a hat and a kick in the nuts.
Watching these split face cards at 2 a.m. might be worth the whole $1,000 entry at that point. All right, Brad. We were out at practice on Saturday. Fun, energetic practice. They did have to move it indoors due to the smoke outside. But I just hate the lighting in there. By the way, it always seems so dark. It's like turn the lights on. It's like no, they're full blast already. But a little linebacker, running back drill here. But Brad, you're out there, as I said, at practice on Saturday. Practice 3, the first in shoulder pads. What'd you make of what you saw out there? I know we got some specific stuff with the O-line and wide receivers we want to talk about, but overall, just your general thoughts kind of being out there and seeing everything for practice 3.
I thought it was good, actually. This is the first day coming out of the helmets only practice. A lot of energy, which is really good. I thought it was a little bit two-way. Like, that's what you want, right? You want the offense to do really well, some of it. You want the defense to do really well. Obviously, there's competition, but you can see in the push-ups there. But I thought it was high energy. I thought, with where they're at, and I'm not going to disclose a lot of it, but I think where they're at in fall camp, they're getting into some situation things, which is good to start right now. That means that they've done a really good job. The players, the coaches done a really good job installing and meeting over the summer to get almost like a fast forward on installs a little bit now that they're in some situational on day 3. I thought some of the position groups look better than others. That's not fair. Won some reps, won some big time reps and during team. I thought the O-line looked good. I think, that starting 5 that they got out right now looked really good. They looked physical. They looked like they were ready to play. It's nice to see in person, the changes and the new guys. And I think that, just the left tackle, they're right. He's extremely athletic, gets himself out of some bad situations, which his recovery is really good. There was one good pass pro that, he was beaten at the start and he recovered and got him by.
Yep.
So I think, one thing I think is Matoyer looks better. You can tell he's been in the weight room, especially upper body.
Which is a big deal.
Huh?
He's healthy, which is a big deal too.
Yeah, which is a big deal. But he also took, the training staff and the strength staff took advantage of that. If he wasn't, he couldn't practice a whole lot, but he was in the weight room. I think he looks really good. They got the number 55. He's a freshman. God, his name's slipping me.
Who is it? What number? Sorry.
Number 55.
Oh, that was I know who it is. I can't say his name right now, though. We'll find
he's not a starter. He's not ready yet, but he looks the part. He's long, he's tall. It's always good to see Roger Carrion taking reps. And what I'm really impressed with Roger is it feels like he's Van Wilder. He's been here forever, right? But the way he works an individual and the way he works on his craft is impressive. He doesn't have this, I've arrived yet. And nobody has, right? When I went to practice last year, the left tackle, Casey didn't do it that way either. But the way he works is impressive. I know they've now got, Coach Strasser a part of it.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into that. That's a big deal.
And the one thing is, what they're allowed to do now is everybody can coach. It doesn't matter your title. Guys are coaching. And between the GA and the quality control and Coach Keene they've got every little bit of piece of that old line is working. And they're all working the same. They all have the same language. They all have the same, technique wise. They all have the same energy. And having Coach Strasser there is the biggest benefit. That's going to make a difference now because, just look at his experience. Right.
I don't say this as a negative towards Tim Keene, who is the offensive line coach, but just on paper and statistically, Chris Strasser is more qualified and has more credentials as an offensive line coach than the actual offensive line coach, Tim Keene. And Tim Keene is doing a great job. I'm not saying he should be the O-line coach over him, whatever. I'm just saying you look at these two guys and they're doing, you have Tim Keene working with guys over here. You mentioned Strasser working with guys over here, and they're doing the same drill, but with two different sets of eyes and two different sets of people. And
now don't forget the GA. So
Zach Holmes is working with the centers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're working all kinds of things. And Strasser between, arguably, I don't know the whole lineage. I think, in my opinion, Chris Strasser is the best offensive line coach who's ever gone through Boise State.
And again, that's not a negative on Tim Keene. He's
No,
very
no, no,
qualified.
no,
He's
no.
doing a great job. All I was saying was, and as you phrase it there, like, I hope these kids realize this, because there's not very many teams in America that have your actual offensive line coach who's doing great and has great things right here. And then, oh yeah, the quote assistant offensive line coach has been in the NFL for a decade and coached some of the greatest linemen in school history. And like it's pretty impressive that they have both those guys working with the O-line.
There's no doubt, but I also think I give Keene a lot of credit. I mean, I'd love to have Chris Strasser if I was an offensive line coach anywhere, and it takes credit to Tim to sit, put his ego aside and say, "Oh God, I feel threatened." No, bring him. It's going to help me develop. It's going to help this offensive line get better, and then in turn, it's going to help us win football games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
I just didn't realize how involved Strasser was going to be, because when he first got announced, and me and Prater talked about this last week, he was announced as the assistant offensive line coach. Then they quickly deleted the graphic and changed it to like senior analyst or something. And so on the surface, it sounded a lot like one of those kind of just token analyst roles that we've seen, Cutter do, where you show up, you come to practice, and then you're on the golf course, by 2:00. But we said something to Spencer about it the other day at the press conference. I said, "So is he around every day now?" And he's like, "No, he's the assistant O-line coach. He's traveling. He's with the team. He's going to be there the whole season. Like he's a coach." And you get out there practice, and you would not know any. I mean, he looks like just any other coach on staff. Him and Tim Keene are both coaching those guys up every play, every drill. And when they do that part of practice, Brad, where they break off and have like the two live groups going at the same time, you have the ones and twos at one end of the field, the threes and fours at the other. The coaches all kind of split up.
Sure.
And to be able to have Tim Keene working with the O-line on one end and Chris Strasser working with the other group on the O-line at the other end, it's massive. And Blake says, "Why is he here?" I mean, you may know more. I mean, we had him on the Riley and Ridge show last year. He came on in the fall at some point in the winter. But I mean, lives in Boise, came back, right? Was semi-retired, I guess, or whatever. And just, doesn't need the money, but just got to a point where he was sitting around and wasn't ready to fully get away. I mean, ask Dirk Cutter why he kept coming back, right?
Yeah.
Like, you guys just have football in your blood, and Chris Strasser's been doing it for 30 years, and he loves Boise, he loves being back, and I'm sure he's not getting a ton of money, but he doesn't need it, and it was just the opportunity to be back around these guys. The fact that he's all in like this, I think, is a little surprising, but he's got a ton of knowledge. He brings a ton to the table, and I think this O-line is just going to get a massive benefit out of that.
Oh, I would agree with you. And you're right. He's here. He wanted to step away from the NFL game, and I don't know the ins and outs of previous contracts. I'm sure that's why he sat out. And now he's here. He's back. I don't know, or I do know football wise, the general football aspect of Boise State. He's there, right? I don't know completely the ins and outs of everything his job title requires, but then again, I really don't care. I think him just working with the O-line is going to pay benefits, and I just think they're going to be really good for it. And I think when like you said, if Strauss is down, because they split up ones and twos. I followed the ones as we went, but imagine he's got Coach Strauss looking over the second group, right? And now all of a sudden, Keene feels very comfortable flipping. Hey, let me go talk to the next. I'm going to go with them. You go with the ones.
Yeah.
Right. And so now it's different voices, and I guarantee those two just sit in a room and they're on the same page. The language is the same. The name of the techniques are the same. And so now it's two voices really in one. And it's going to be a huge benefit. And I think you're going to see it more and more and more and more as they get better over camp and be ready to go.
Yeah. You mentioned kind of some of the one-on-one position battles and stuff. I got in a little trouble, just to be honest, with Boise State, because we were revealing a little too much from practice on our message boards and things. And so we're trying to play within the rules, Brad, and we got to be a little careful in terms of some of the plays. And so have to be a little more careful, I guess, with some of the stuff that I've been saying about what's happening. But they did show they've showed some clips on social media. And obviously once those clips are on social media, it's public knowledge and we can talk about them. When we saw Nitro Wright, the wide receiver, have two great catches on Saturday that were posted to them. And I want to ask you about the receivers in a second, but you mentioned the one-on-one drills and the linebackers at practice on Thursday, I guess it was practice 2. They posted a clip online of Bowen Phelps and Sire Gaines one-on-one in a drill, and Bowen Phelps got the interception. The whole defense ran. It was at the goal line. The defense all ran to the middle of the field. There was a huge celebration. Bowen Phelps gets the interception. Well, on Saturday during one of the open periods, so we're free to show this and talk about this. They had a little bit of a rematch, so to speak, with some of the running backs going against some of the linebackers. And here's two clips. You have Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines are the running backs, and Sire Gaines going up against Bowen Phelps again. I forget if he's the second clip or the first clip, but here we go. All right, Brad. He comes back and gets revenge on that one, and then Dylan Riley gets a chance here. But your two backs and both go 2 for 2 on the catches there. I know it's tough, that when it's one-on-one like that, right? The drill favors the offense, I guess. But after Phelps gets the interception the first day by jumping the route, now you have the running backs coming back and complete two passes there. So you like to see that back and forth.
No doubt. And not to mention they're throwing a slightly different out route, and the linebackers completely out leveraged. So that's not, the Bowen Phelps, I came out of that just looking at the linebacking core. Boy, is that kid athletic. I mean,
number one, super athletic.
And
a little, I don't even know if undersized is the right word, but he's not your typical, linebacker we're used to seeing, just the Tanner Vallejos of the world and some of these just big, thick linebackers. But that's the new style. And Boise State's really going to some of those quicker guys that can cover in space and do things. And so I don't even think it's fair to say he's undersized, but he's certainly not the body type of some of the old linebackers. He proved last year, third on the team with 66 tackles, that he knows what he's doing.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. I don't think he's the biggest guy in the world. I mean, he's not. But I want you to – this is exactly, kind of adapt or start losing, right? And I think that's what they did. I know Bones is a senior. But look at the offenses they have to face, right? A lot of these offenses aren't 3 tight ends and put everybody in the box and we're going to run ISO for – unless you're playing Air Force, but they're not going to run. Nobody's committed to run the ball 65% of the game besides the academies. So who else do we got to play? We got to play spread offenses. They're going to try to put linebackers in space and make them play in space, make them cover, make them do everything. And he's a great example of a linebacker that fits the run great, is physical, but you put them in a full team offense, right? Like, I know we saw the one-on-one drill. Well, coverage, depending on that situation right there, on that out route, that running back could get just clipped, right, by the nickel if it's to the field.
And that was just a coach throwing it. That wasn't a set lining up. It wasn't similar to the one the other day on Friday where that was an actual Thursday where an actual quarterback was throwing to him and it was a real play.
Correct. So I just think he's a very good football player. Very quick twitched. And so, I think, he runs the show well. And I think he fits the scheme very well. And so, I think I was really high on him coming out of that practice. I think he works well with the rest of the defense. And so that's what you need your linebackers to do, right? They got to get people set. They got to communicate. I mean, they're the quarterback. Right. They got the dot. They're hearing, coach and set and everything. So I was impressed with him. I really was. Because I read about, there was an article. Who wrote it? I don't know. I read it about him and I'm like, ooh, I'm interested to see this guy. And then all of a sudden, there was some pass rush a part of that too. Right. Mm-hmm. And you just saw how quick twitch he is. His change of direction is really good. How quick he can get to the drop. He's a good football player. I expect some big things out of him this year.
Well, it was either Nathan or Chris. I mean, we had him in the top 5. I mean, Brad, on our most important players on the entire team this year when we were doing our summer series. I believe he was like number 3 or number 4 on the entire team in terms of how important he was, just because of losing Marco Notriani and some of those guys too, and him being kind of the one guy. But yeah, I mean, he's, in our mind, coming into the season, Nathan and Chris and our countdown was one of the top 5 most important players on the whole team. So good to see from that aspect that you're seeing some of that come into fruition here. I wanted to ask you about Logan Brantley, the Kansas transfer, and the running back group as a whole, and we'll hear from Logan Brantley in just a second. But do want to thank Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, checking account, savings account, so many different options. And if you think you like your banking experience, I can promise you if you make the switch to ICCU, you'll like it even better. They're now officially on board with NIL deals. They got Maddox Madsen in the fold, and they're official sponsors of Learfield and Boise State. So return the favor, folks. Get out to Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Still some time to take advantage of that Roaring Springs deal from Jackson's as well. Save up to $32 at Roaring Springs when you buy 2 Coca-Cola products. It's from our friends at Roaring Springs. $32 in savings when you buy 2 Coca-Cola products from our friends at Jackson's. Speaking of returning the favor, folks, Taco Bell, the Nicolason family just gave $1 million to Boise State. Return the favor. Get out there for your next meal at Taco Bell. Prater and I had fun out there last week. I believe it was on Thursday. I still have some gift cards to give away from Taco Bell. So TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group. Check out that Cantina line, the crunchy chicken Cantina tacos, and all the great options there. They got breakfast as well. Johnny swears by the breakfast, quesadillas, and the hash browns. So get on out to Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today, and we appreciate the Nicolason family and the SON Management Group. And not sure if you saw or not, Brad, but they're now selling these new Nike tennis shoes. The Blue and Orange store has them, the new Nike shoes, one of the many things. They've got them right there in the store at the mall, right there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. And, of course, you can order anywhere in the world online at blueandorangestore.com. So all your Boise State gear, your officially licensed Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store. Rowpaint.com, Andy Rowe and Company. All your painting needs, interior, exterior painting, those concrete coatings. Make sure you hit up our one of our great sponsors, someone that's been around for a long time. That is Andy Rowe and Rowpaint.com. And, of course, Ridley's Family Markets as well. ShopRidleys.com, 13 locations in the state of Idaho and surrounding states. And I love that Cuno location. They got the new self-checkout kiosks that are easy to use. And you want an owner and a company where they're based right here in the Treasure Valley. The owner lives here in the Treasure Valley. And we appreciate them. They're big supporters of the local community, and we appreciate the Ridley family and Ridley's Family Markets. All right, the linebacker group as a whole, we mentioned Bowen Phelps and his importance there, Brad, but behind him, not a lot of proven depth or experience, definitely at the Boise, at Boise State. They've got some young guys they like. I know Sincere Brackett. There's a freshman linebacker they really like as well, Mana Teote. Number 55 on the defensive side. You were mentioning 55 on the offensive side. But there's some guys there. One of them they brought in, though, Logan Brantley, a transfer from Kansas. Looks the part, obviously, and was the first linebacker Spencer Danielson mentioned on the opening press conference about guys competing for the starting spot. Again, I know you didn't study him for the entire 2-hour practice, but just in general, Boise State's of the world, getting a guy that has a little experience but doesn't get a ton of playing time in the Big 12 at a Kansas, comes down because he wants more playing time and sees an opportunity. And we're going to hear a clip in a minute, but the dude's got charisma. The dude just seems like a good dude that just wants a chance to spread his wings and show what he can do and play. And certainly the Big 12 size and speed, you can tell from him when he's out there. What do you make of the opportunity he might have? They've got another Kansas transfer at running back who's looking to be getting some time as well. So kind of a unique situation there. But just Logan Brantley and I guess just generally when you're coming down from the Big 12 to a Boise State, is there anything about the size or the speed that you notice? And do you think this guy's got a chance to make a big impact here?
I mean, he's got the size, he's got the speed. He's learning it and he's getting in there. He's going to be fine. I think it's going to take a little bit more time, right? I mean, he's hearing it. He's here for spring, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he did actually, that whole linebacker core did a good job, both of them, right? But he does. He has spice. He runs very well.
He's listed at 6 foot 235, by the way.
Right. He's thick. He's a thicker plugger type guy. But I would say the difference is he runs very well. Nothing against Notriani and all that, but they're these two that are lined up on Saturday they're fast. They can flat out run.
Cherry Creek High School, by the way, in Denver is where he's from.
Colorado.
Yep, Denver.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, going from, I know Kansas is very special to your heart. It doesn't matter to me where they're coming from because we have seen it time and time again when you go from Ohio State or SC here, right? Doesn't always work out. Doesn't always work out. It comes down to the person, not where you're coming from. I don't care if you came from Alabama or Georgia. It doesn't matter. It's the person. Can you fit into the culture you're coming into? The culture at Boise State is blue collar, work hard, shut your mouth, and win. And you put a product on the field that has swagger and say, we're not losing. Just put the ball down. So that's where I like, at Kansas they've had success, and he hasn't won a whole lot, but I think, in talking to people, is he carries a chip. You know what I mean? There's a chip on his shoulder about it. He's like, I want to win. I want to get better. I want to be developed. I want this. I want that. So the fit's right. And so that's where the opportunity is going to lie, is because of the character he has coming here, where because I came from the Big 12, I deserve to start because now I'm just at Boise State. Doesn't work that way, dude. Boise State would have beat you twice on Sundays. So let's not, so it's the person coming down, not necessarily where they're coming from. And I think that linebacker core is a step up with him in the lineup, or him on the football team. That's where you got it. Are we making our room better by bringing this individual here? I think with his case, they are getting better because of the person he is and the work ethic that he's brought. That's why they got better, not because he came from the Big 12.
Well,
right.
We talked about it all summer. What would you rather have? The Akeem Wright from JUCO with 24 touchdowns in 22 games, or the former 4 or 5-star guy from Kansas that doesn't have a lot of, there's different, everything is seen differently. And you mentioned the Ohio State kid that a lot of people came in on the offensive line, and he has medically retired, I believe, and is no longer around. You mentioned Malachi Nelson, I was from USC. So it's not, cut and dry in every scenario that it's the same, but sometimes a school like Boise State, I think, could be in a position to kind of be right place, right time for some of these guys that are good players, but just can't get on the field somewhere else. And hopefully for Boise State, Logan Brantley is a guy that just wanted an opportunity and he saw it, and hopefully they're the beneficiaries of that. He doesn't care about the money and everything else. He just wants to play. And like I said, it ain't going to work for everybody, but it sounds like, at least on the surface, it's got a chance to work for Logan Brantley.
I would agree with, but it also is not given. It's earned. And he understands that. Mm-hmm. That's the difference between, but off the cusp right now. Like, I don't know the young man, right? I never sat there.
So Malachi Nelson came here and was expecting to start.
Correct. Is he coming down or is he transferring to Boise State because he feels entitled of where he's coming from? Or is he coming to Boise State understanding the culture, the winning tradition, and that's what I want to do, and I have to buy into that? On surface, it looks like that's the type of kid he is. I'm not saying Malachi Nelson deserved to win everything. I'm not saying that. I think that some people tagged him as that. But this young man came in with, look at the left tackle. He came in and just understood, and I'm going to work, and he moved from lower up. But they came in with the exact same mentality of, we're going to work hard, help win, be a team guy, and understand the culture of Boise State. Doesn't matter where we come from. And if you can find that and it's a fit, you have every opportunity to win a starting job. You come in entitled, well, I came from the Big 12. This is just Boise State. I should start now. Like, no, dude. If you have that mentality, I suggest every time you go to your apartment, you pack one T-shirt in a bag, because eventually you're out of here.
Well,
it's not going to work for you.
I wouldn't think a lot of people that didn't even, maybe you were at Kansas, but if you didn't play a whole lot, you don't have a lot of ground to kind of stand. It's one thing if you were a starting player at Kansas and you transfer down, but if you're not playing a whole lot there, I don't think you can all of a sudden think you should be starting anywhere.
You'll be shocked.
Well, I don't think that's the case with Logan Brantley. So
no, I didn't. That's why I said it's not the case with Logan Brantley.
Let's hear a clip from Logan. Logan Brantley talking about kind of why he chose Boise State and the opportunity he's looking for here.
I love it here. Yeah, as soon as I met Coach D, there was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to come and play for the Broncos. It's an amazing culture here, and I'm just ready for the season.
What was it about the culture in this place that I don't know if you saw a spot to play a lot or what, but what was it that drew you here?
I'd say definitely my interaction with Coach D the first time I met him. I could tell that he cared for his players, and he loves them a lot. And, that's just a coach that I would want to play for. So there's no doubt in my mind I wanted to be here.
How long after you entered the portal did you have that first conversation? And what do you remember about that first conversation?
So I think Boise was my first visit. It was my only visit. And I think it was on my OV at the, Top Golf when I met Coach D, and it was just, first interaction with him was just, it was incredible. And he was an incredible guy, and I just, talked to my mom about it, and it was definitely a good decision for me.
What do you make of this place? I mean, we talked to some of these guys that are coming up from JUCO, whatever, and it's their wide eyes, and you're kind of, obviously coming down, but you obviously were in Big 12 to hear. But what do you make of these facilities here and this stadium, and just your thoughts on what all this is all about?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a little change, but, everything is, the same. We got a lot of guys on this team that are hungry and love football, and that's, what I noticed the big difference is, they got a big mentality here, and that, it's incredible how these guys love football a lot. I'm excited to play with them.
What was the reason if you entering the portal in the first place? What were you looking for?
Yeah, I was just looking for a new home, just a new opportunity to go and just see the field a little bit more. Kansas, had a lot of guys coming in, a lot of guys leaving, and I just wanted to take a new chance, take a leap of faith and just trust God and trust in my faith.
So obviously getting the playing time, we asked Coach, and he says that he mentions your game as one of the guys who was really good at starting spots. Just, I guess these first few weeks, or every time you've been here, just what's the work like big for you to get on the field and be part of that linebacker group?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for me, it's just proving myself right every day. I just want to grow in something new every day and just prove myself right and just to continue, to just get better. And, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm ready to take the challenge.
All right, Brad, your thoughts on what you heard there?
Culture, right? Hard work, chip on the shoulder, more or less, want to win. And I need to come in and get better and improve myself. I mean, it's everything. I know it's an interview. I mean, it's what everyone wants to hear. But everything that I've talked to is he backs it up on the football field and the person he is. I mean, it's exactly the type of fit. Just watching that, it's like, okay, he's a Boise guy. He should have been here at the start, and he'd probably be starting already. I mean, he's a good kid. I've heard he's fantastic in the locker room. I know that they are expecting some big things from him. He's got to continue to develop and do it the Boise way. And then that comes from everybody, right? That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. And so I really think that kid he's helped the room, and he'll play a lot of football at Boise State this year.
Well, I mentioned 6 foot 235. Last year did play in all 12 games for Kansas, 8 tackles, had 5 solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Did have 1.5 tackles for loss for 5 yards, had a half sack for 1 yard against Wagner in their season opener and FCS team. He did have a career high 4 tackles, played in 4 games in 2024 before a season injury, and then 2 games as a true freshman in 2023. So believe with the new rules and everything, he would have 2 years this year and next year, potentially for him here. And so we'll see, but looks like a nice addition to the room. And if you get a veteran guy in there, and like I said, Harry Stewart, similar boat, running back from Kansas, looking for a bigger role, and they're 2 buddies, and there's more to that story. And you can listen to the whole interview there. It was about 10 minutes. Great stuff from him. He did say one difference between Lance Leipold at Kansas and Spencer Danielson is that he came out and saw Coach D in the cold tub with the players, and he's not used to seeing the head coach in the cold tub there after practice. So he did joke that was a little different, but you can go watch the full interview, about 10 minutes or so, on our Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. We post all the full interviews and practice highlights and things to our YouTube channel. I want to talk briefly about the receiver room, Brad. I mentioned Akeem Wright. I know the receivers kind of stood out to you a little bit, and they've been one of the biggest question marks in camp, and we'll do that here in just a minute. But I want to thank Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Excuse me, Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Whether you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, Matt Bauscher and his crew, they are ready to help you out, and they can do that online at BauscherRealEstate.com. And really appreciate them for their help and their support of Bronco Nation News. How about Element Fencing? You looking to buy a new fence, maybe you need to repair to your fence, Element Fencing is who you need to reach out to. 631-2790, elementfencing.com. They'll be sponsoring our defensive player of the game come football season, and we appreciate Element Fencing. 25 plus years in the fencing business. Brady and his staff ready to help you build that perfect project from the ground up. So Element Fencing, check them out online at elementfencing.com. Also want to thank Signature Roofing online at Signature Roofing, mysignatureroofing.com to be exact. Covering our community for more than 2 decades. Re-roof, repair to your roof, an inspection, estimate, all your roofing needs. Make sure you hit up Signature Roofing, again, online at mysignatureroofing.com. New sponsor that we're happy to have on board, and that is Piston Pay. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. If you are a owner of a business or you have folks that drive vehicles and you pay for their fuel or you reimburse them, you need to listen up because a lot of you folks are still on legacy fuel cards. It's costing you unauthorized fills, missed rebates, charges you can't trace. Your statement shows nothing but a dollar amount and a station name. You don't know if they got snack at a concession stand or pizza, or if they went and bought the gas with your card. So check them out. Piston Pay, 100% cardless. It's an app. It's a QR code. I filled up using that a couple weeks ago, and it was very easy to use. You also get 10 cents off per gallon and some other great deals and things. So check them out. There's no subscription fee, no switching cost. Piston.com to get more information on that. And if you're a business owner, I'm telling you, you can save a lot of money and really have that peace of mind and just make it a more seamless thing when you're talking about having your employees get gas on the company card and things like that. So check them out. Again, we appreciate Piston Pay online at piston.com. All right, the wide receivers, Akeem Wright, Nitro Wright. We heard in spring, Brad, he kind of came on late in spring as a JUCO guy. Not a huge surprise there. Kind of got his feet wet, figured things out. The speed of the game, the second half of spring really slowed down for him. And then he came out and we talked to him on, I believe it was Thursday. So you can go listen to that full interview. I'm not going to play the clip now to save time, but you can go listen to the full interview with Akeem Wright. And the fact that they had him talking after the second practice, I think is pretty notable as well. But he believes he's the fastest player on the team, Brad. I know a lot of people will probably say that, but I mean, he believes he's got that kind of game-changing speed. He says, his home is the end zone. He just loves spending time there and getting there. And when the ball is in his hands, he's done some electric things in his JUCO career. And we saw it on display the other day that Boise State posted the clip from Saturday's practice. We were there, Brad. A really long touchdown down the sideline, another nice catch over the middle, and Akeem Wright, Nitro Wright, number 21, starting to kind of elevate and be one of those names to watch here in the wide receiver room.
I would agree. I thought he does a great job with his hands. He's not a huge body catcher, which is nice. So we don't have any doinks off the shoulder pads. It'll happen, but I think he's explosive. What he can do in his acceleration within 5 yards is impressive. I would say the other thing is what I really liked about him is his straight line speed. Great. Okay, cool. You got it. The way he can drop his hips and get in and out of his breaks is impressive. His hips are fluid. He drops his center of balance very well. He has a knack of coming back to the ball. So nobody's going to undercut him, or at least nobody undercut him on Saturday. He was impressive. He's the guy that when we talked about this, like, okay, who's going to step up at wide receiver? Who did they get? What are the new faces going to look like? He's one that I looked at during the team session, right? I mean, the one-on-ones and all that, okay, cool. But during team, what he was doing and his abilities within the multiple routes that he's going to have to run within the route tree of this offense, he fits it, and he is impressive. He's something I came out, I was like, okay, he's something to get excited about. And as the installs continue to mount and get bigger and put more on him, I think, like you said, I think he's a classic example of he heard it in the spring for the first, or before the spring for the first, went into spring and heard it. Summer, he heard it again. Now he's hearing it, and now it's kind of all clicking, right? I think.
And I would actually say Darren Morris, too, the Southern transfer, number 13.
13.
maybe not on the, he's another guy that's in I guess I would say similar boat where he seems to be coming on, making some plays too.
He is. I think he's taller. He's a little bit more rangier than Nitro. I think both of them are very good football players. The other one that made some pretty good catches was the big tall kid.
Cash Williams, number 83. Yep. Comonte Williams. He's looked really good in all 3 practices.
Yep. He's made some good plays. He's
got that thing you can't teach where you just throw it over the top, and he's taller than you and he can jump higher than you, and he's got longer arms than you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
The other thing, he has a natural ability to settle in some holes. And I'm not going to get into scheme, but he's a natural ability of just to wrap around people and just find holes and understand where the ball is going to be. I think that was impressive. And then, I don't think there's another practice you're not gonna talk about Jones. He's just a good football player.
Yep.
He's one of those is like, okay, he's really good. We know he's good. Now it's kind of like, okay, when it comes to games, is he going to take that step as a young player, as a freshman, right? I came out of that as a question. I need to see him in a game. I know scrimmages are great and all that, or practice is great and all that. I want to see it in the game, but you feel better after watching everything and seeing these wide receivers work, and their overall ability is something to now. It's not as it's a little bit of a question, but it's something to be excited about rather than, oh boy, what's going to happen. So yeah. I agree with you. I think there's a good skill set, and I think it's nice to see some straight line speed in some guys with some good ball skills, to get up and snatch it out of the air. And it was exciting to watch them work, and the energy that their coach brings. You can understand of why, he's
out there in cleats.
He's demanding. He's demanding. And that's what you need as a wide receiver. He's on him about depth. He's on him about footwork. He's on him about sitting in the hole. He's on him about, and it's I love Matt Miller. He's a hell of a wide receivers coach.
They're just different. They just have different styles.
You say it better. They have different styles. And those kids are thriving off that style right now.
Real quick, I don't want to play much of this because we're up against the clock, but here's the opening comment from Rashawn Jones, who did talk to the media himself for the first time after practice on Saturday.
How have the first 3 practices gone for you?
Yeah, practices have been good so far. It's definitely been highly competitive. Dudes are just here, showing up, ready to work, just trying to earn their spot, really. And, yeah.
What after what you did in the spring and getting out there and obviously proving yourself? How'd your mindset? What was kind of your mindset coming into fall camp here?
Yeah, doing what I did and was able to do in the spring definitely was cool. But coming into the summer and the real season, it really meant nothing to me. It kind of just was like a confidence boost almost. I came into summer more hungry than I think I was in the spring. And so that just kind of inspired me to work even harder this summer and try to earn whatever playing time I can.
When you
well, there you go. Nothing given. You talk about guys knowing nothing's given. Was one of the most impressive talked about player the entire spring camp, Brad. But he says that means nothing. I got to start over and try to win my spot this fall.
The real season. He gets it. He goes, now we're here. We're here. Spring was great, but spring's over. Now this is the real season. Now this is where, hey, everybody was getting the reps. Now they understand now reps are going to start getting cut here in a little bit. And where am I going to fit in to get the ball? And he understands that. That's just another great example of a good kid who understands working hard pays off.
Yeah. And on a side note, Brad, his dad was at practice on Saturday. I got a chance to meet his dad. He kind of came up to me and said, hey, love watching the shows. Love what you guys are doing. Thanks for, saying nice things about my son. I said, it's pretty easy to do that so far. It's been plenty of positive things to talk about, but always nice when the parents of the players that come to practice or at a game on the road or at the airport or something always will come up to us. And you've had a chance. I think Matoyer's dad, you got a chance to meet at the James last year. There's been some other guys, I think, at times, but it's always nice when the parents, and I say that from your perspective now in the media. You obviously meet all the parents when you're coaching, but just in the media, and we're talking about them on here, and you get a chance to meet the parents, and it does remind you that they're all good or bad. They're listening to what you're saying and everything, but it was cool to meet Mr. Jones and be able to talk to him and look forward. He's super pumped, as he should be, for they were living in Oregon and he committed to Boise State anyway and it had nothing to do with it, but they were already looking to move to Idaho, and it was just kind of a random thing that it both happened. And so now they live in Meridian. He played at Rocky Mountain, obviously, for his senior year, but that really wasn't tied to him coming to Boise State. It was just a work thing and a living thing. And I believe he'd already committed before he moved, but it really wasn't part of it. And it's kind of worked out really cool that he got last year there. And then his dad was telling me, yeah, he still comes home, some on the weekends, and we get a meal together and do some laundry, and you get to still see your son and be in the town. I mean, this could be a pretty cool fall here for the family.
No doubt. I mean, it's an exciting time. I mean, the kid's a good football player. He knows now it's time to go. And I mean, everybody wants to support their kid. I mean, I hope, but I think I think the sky's the limit for that young man. I mean, he's longer than I thought,
Yeah. You see his neck there and just his body type and everything.
His neck looks like a George Halani.
Yeah.
But he's just
6'1".
He's just 6'1" instead of 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah. Now, the final thing I'll say, Brad, and we have spent mostly this whole practice talking about the offense, and I will say as we wrap it up, that's because I thought Saturday the offense had a really good day. The first couple days, there was times where the defense, maybe I think Thursday's practice too, I would say the defense maybe was the quote-unquote winner, or however you want to look at it, with some of the turnovers and things. And again, I can't get specific, but I thought Saturday I thought Maddox Madsen had a nice day. I mean, the debate in the chat has nothing to do with what we're talking about, Brad. There's 100 people arguing about Maddox Madsen in the chat right now, which is, how it is every day. But I again, take it for what it's worth, but I thought he made some nice throws. I thought he had a nice day. He hit some guys in stride. You can just tell when Maddox Madsen's out there and some of the ball placement and just his command of the offense, it's just different than Max Cutforth or any of these other guys that people are clamoring for. It just is. And is that, you can argue all you want about whether Maddox Madsen is good enough, but he's the best option they have, Brad. And I don't think it's that close. And I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman, but I thought he had a nice practice on Saturday, and I thought the offense looked improved from the first two practices.
Yeah, I don't go to the first two practices because I think the first two practices are more or less whatever. Because you don't have any pads on.
The word you told me.
Yeah, they're
in helmets. You're not doing much. At least for you to get you mean not for the players and coaches, but like for you to get a actual take on how guys are looking or whatever else, you need to see a couple on the pads.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's like the offensive line. It's like you guys are going to look great without pads, but you can't get anybody's chest. You certainly don't want to break a collarbone, right? And it also, the offense with a non-padded practice, an offensive line, depending on what you have installed, and because I know I'm not even remotely going into that. But what they were working on day one and day two needed pads. And they just needed to get the plays in knowing day three's pads, right? And that's the way it works. And the other thing to Maddox is we talked about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, we talked about what's going to be the growth in Madsen, right? Mad Dog, what's going to be the growth? I mean, he's been here forever. And I said, I think you're going to look to him to get the ball out soon, have an understanding of defenses, do it better. His catch to snap to get the ball out of the pocket or get the ball out of his hand was remotely faster than it was than I've seen last season. You know what I mean? I think he threw some nice throws. I'm not going to get into the route tree, but I thought he found some great holes. He has an understanding of what to look off, what not to. I think his development is coming along. I agree with you. Mad Dog is the best quarterback at Boise State on roster right now. And it's just this is a topic that's going to happen all the time. We're going to have the same thing when he throws his first pick. I mean, it's just the way it is here, and I get it. But he is the quarterback. He is the best quarterback to help you go win the Pac-12. Period. Sorry, I'm not gonna get off of that.
And you can argue whether or not if you feel they should have upgraded, they should have got a transfer, they should have you can say all that what you want, but this is who they have. And there is no battle for a reason. And it's nothing against Max Cutforth or some of these guys that I think they do some nice things. And I think, some of these younger guys, Cash Herrera, could be starting as early as next year and be the man. He's an NFL type talent. But right now, when you talk about the complexity of Boise State's offense and the shifts and motions and reading defenses, It's not just standing back there and throwing a nice ball. Like, yeah, Cash Herrera might throw the nicest ball on the team, but that's what 10% of what actually being the quarterback is. We saw that with Malachi Nelson when he came in here. He threw a beautiful ball. So I just do think there's more to it, and we're not trying to defend Maddox Madsen, or we're not homers for Maddox Madsen, whatever. I think it's just reality. And anyone trying to get into any kind of controversy, all these people in the chat trying to say all this, like, he is who he is, but he is the best option.
There is, and I don't mean this in a bad way. It takes people a lot more energy to shit on Mad Dog than it does to support him. Period. He's your quarterback. Stop. If you want him to win the Pac-12, then I'll go Pac-12. You want him to do this, you want him to that. You need Maddox Madsen to play well. How about this? You have every right to criticize him. This is America. I get it. Why don't you spend some energy in supporting him and see what he does? And then if he doesn't play very well, you have every right to say he didn't play good enough to win. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. But as of right now, they're 0-0, it takes more energy to talk bad about the guy than support him. So support him, and then when the season starts and he didn't play well or deserves some criticism, give it. I get it. It's just this conversation's been going on for 3 years.
I was just going to say, and it's going to be happening on the post-game show after the Oregon game.
Correct. Everything's going to happen. I understand that. It's the nature of playing quarterback, and really it's the nature about being a football player at Boise State. It is what it is. Coaching here too. It is what it is. I understand that. But you can have every what-if scenario. It didn't happen. He's here. He's the quarterback. Let's move on, support him, and then if he deserves to be called out, you have every right to call him out. I will never argue with that. I just don't understand dogging on this somebody who hasn't played this season yet. It's a new year. Last year's over. The year before that's over. You don't have the running back. You don't have this. We lost him. I get it. That's why they've brought in the wide receivers, the linebacker, right, to get better. And I think this team has gotten better roster-wise than it was last year. I think there were some step-ups, and yet to be determined once they get into the game, because kids can go haywire. We don't know.
Well, you get another year with him working with Zach Hill too. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that you should be.
Yeah, I just don't feel I like to spend my energy crapping on a kid where I haven't seen him play in a new year. So
no one is arguing the reality of or arguing he's the best option. He's just not good. I've tried supporting him, but nothing has changed according to ID.
Okay, nothing's changed. Did you win championships? Did he win your conference championships when you were the water cooler bragging it about everybody? Yes. Did he win championships? Has he won championships?
He returned from his injury to start the championship game, which some people thought he shouldn't, and he did, and they won.
They won, right? So at the end of the day, you still get to wear your Mountain West Conference 3-time championship.
Well, he says, how many years does he need to not play well? I don't get that argument, Brad.
Okay, what did you want him to win? What did you want him to win?
Wanted him to beat Penn State, Brad. Come on.
So
beat Notre Dame. Beat Notre Dame. Come on. Washington.
So did I.
Yeah, he played half that game, was hurt.
Right, but the Penn State game is a lot more than just Mad Dog.
No doubt.
The Penn State game's a lot more than just Mad Dog.
No doubt.
And I didn't quite. His name was different. I understand where you're at, man. I do. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't say anybody who has an opinion is not wrong. It's just their opinion. I don't believe in that.
The Stable says name one college QB who has 3 consecutive conference championships. He might be one of the only ones going into the season. And final comment here, Brad, you're speaking to people who don't want to listen to logic and reason.
Well, it's not logic, it's not reason, it's the way he feels.
Yeah.
And you don't never tell anybody how they feel. Because you come here and tell me I'm wrong in the way I feel, it just breeds an argument that's not worth having.
Yeah, that's why it's an opinion. Everyone can say whatever they want, and there's really no way you can.
I love it. This is what
say you disagree with it, but there's no way to prove they're actually wrong.
And this is what makes Boise State football so great, is because they have passionate people for a passionate team.
Well, also because we have great great viewership today, Brad. Probably our best viewership in the last few months here, with folks excited about the conversation, excited about fall camp. I got a couple other things I'm going to keep going, Brad, but I've taken an hour of your time. So we're going to let you roll and do this again next Monday. Hopefully see you out at practice this week. And we appreciate your time as always, sir.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
There he is, the great Brad Bedell. Great insight into fall camp and the position battles and what he saw out there. And we always appreciate Brad and thank him for coming on. We do have our 40 and 40 submission. How about our youngest one yet, an 8-year-old, Frankie Sommer, and he is from Ohio. And let's hear from him, because don't forget, we're doing 40 years of memories in 40 seconds. CollectBSU.com. You can buy all the official merchandise, pieces of the blue turf. Go there right now, CollectBSU.com. But we're taking our 40 seconds or less, and we need some more videos. We got a couple left, but send them in. Email me, rains@BroncoNationNews.com. Send it in, 40 seconds or less. You talking about your favorite memory of 40 years of the blue turf, and you'll be entered to win a shadow box autographed by Gene Blameyer with an original piece of the 1986 blue turf. Let's our youngest submission, 8-year-old Frankie Sommer from Ohio. Let's hear from him.
Hello, my name is Frankie, and my favorite part of getting at Boise on the blue turf, my first football game in 2025. My favorite part was getting autographs from Dylan Riley, Maddox Manson, Chris Marshall, and Cage Casey.
Well, there you go. 3 of those 4 might be worth something. But Frankie Sommer, 8-year-old, appreciate him for the submission there. Love that smile. Thank you, Dad, for sending that as well. And that's really cool. And if you have a memory, that's the best part about this. We're getting memories from young folks, older folks, in the middle. Everyone's got a memory, 40 years of the blue turf. If you have one, email me, rains@BroncoNationNews.com. Send it in, and we would like to play it on an upcoming show and enter you into the contest to win a shadow box, again, signed by Gene Blameyer with an original piece of the 1986 blue turf. So check out collectbsu.com. They're selling all kinds of that Boise State gear and official. They got some team bags they're selling, some locker stools, all kinds of stuff that Boise State doesn't have any more use for. That's officially licensed stuff that the players use, and that includes actual pieces of the blue turf. So check that out, and we appreciate Frankie Dog for sending in the comment there. Great job, Frankie. That was cool. So yeah, that was awesome. Hope Frankie wins, and that's coming from Ben, who you submitted one as well. So appreciate you again, Frankie, and that was love that smile that we saw there. And let's see if we can get his smile on there again. I'll try to find it.
Hello, my name is Frankie, and my favorite part of getting at Boise on the blue turf, my first football game in 2025. My favorite part was getting autographs from Dylan Riley, Maddox Manson, Chris Marshall, and Cage Casey.
Look at that smile there from Frankie. We appreciate him again for sending in the video from Ohio. A Boise State fan, went to a game last year in 2025. And again, got Maddox Madsen's autograph and Dylan Riley and Cage Casey, and even got Chris Marshall's autograph there as well. So appreciate him and his dad for sending that in. You could be featured next. Rains@BroncoNationNews.com. Email me today with your video. Horizontal, please, or just record it on your phone, 40 seconds or less. It's easy. And we'll play that on an upcoming episode. And do check out collectbsu.com. They have some really cool stuff. We hope you'll check out BroncoNationNews.com as well. 60% off right now, folks. It's not going to be around for very long. If you want inside info, what are Nathan and Chris and I seeing at practice? Who's standing out? You want insider info, you got to be a VIP subscriber. It's $4.67 a month right now, a one-time fee of like $56, and you get a full year of coverage. We're talking all the rest of fall camp, the whole season, basketball season, portal season, spring football, all the way till next season. Jump in now. It's just $4.67 a month. Help us out. We've had more people at these practices than any other outlet in town. And when you talk about Johnny, who, by the way, happy birthday, Johnny. Go on social media and hit up Johnny Ballgame. Flood his mentions. Today's Johnny Ballgame's birthday. And so we appreciate him. But, KTIK's had a ton of people out there as well. And so has BNN. When we talk about Nathan and Chris and I and Mateo, our intern, of all four of us been at all 3 practices. And then you throw in Prater and Johnny and Tuss and everyone else associated with BNN. I said Brad was there on Saturday. So you're getting coverage you're not going to get anywhere else, folks. It's $4.67 a month. Recruiting info, the best Boise State coverage, and this is at home and on the road. We are the only outlet, guys, that's not officially tied to Boise State. We're the only independent outlet that travels to all football games and all road basketball games. So you want to get coverage. You're literally in interviews and content you're literally not getting anywhere else. Support us for $4.67 a month right now while our 60% offer is going on. Jump on while you can before it goes away. 60% off. And there is an option if you want the Paramount Plus subscription. You can just pay full price, and then you get the 2-for-1 on the Paramount Plus. Otherwise, when it renews at the full price, you can get the Paramount Plus subscription in there as well. I think we do have an option where you can try 1 month for $1, and then when it goes to, I think, $13.99 for the monthly rate, you would get the Paramount Plus included in that. So that's about what it costs just for Paramount Plus. So you'd be getting buy one, get one free essentially on the monthly rate as well. So appreciate those of you that already subscribed. Been a nice couple of days. Great viewership on the show today. So help us get over 8,000 YouTube subscribers as well. I'm giving my buddy Mateo, our intern, our student at Boise State, a little bonus in his next check when we get to 8,000 subscribers. So we need about 190 to get him another bonus. So help out Mateo, the college student there. Subscribe on YouTube here if you're new to the channel. Tell your friends. Subscribe from your other channels if you have more than one. Help us push over 8,000 YouTube subscribers. Daily practice highlights, daily interviews, daily shows, daily coverage, and content of Boise State football and Boise State athletics that you're literally not going to get anywhere else. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching these shows, liking these videos, subscribing, and thank you for supporting all of our sponsors. This is a free show you guys are watching here on YouTube, so the least you can do is go to Jackson's, go to Taco Bell, go to Lithia Ford, go get some Sun Cruisers, support our sponsors, help keep this show on YouTube free, and help keep us the only independent outlet that's able to travel home and on the road to give you Boise State coverage. So go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Again, click the Join VIP button for 60% off right now, and you get daily practice recaps, daily coverage, and everything that I've been telling you about. We'll put our coverage up against anybody. So support the sponsors. Go subscribe. Go watch all of our YouTube videos from Saturday. We had the full interview with Logan Brantley, the full interview with Rashawn Jones, Akeem Wright from Thursday. So go watch the interviews. We got more practice and interviews this afternoon. It's actually late afternoon, like 3 o'clock practice today. So we'll have more content coming this afternoon and this evening. And if you're a VIP subscriber, you're going to have plenty of stuff there in the VIP message boards as well. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys from practice this afternoon. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.